welcome to today's video, everybody. Today we're working back on the S15 at the shop. We've actually been here for a little bit now. I've got Khan right now working on changing out the front rotors to the new endless ones that we got there with some fresh pads as well. So those are coming off right now. Look at this guy. Never done brakes in his life. We're teaching him. For the last couple of days, I've been working on the rear. We actually ran into some more issues there, but we got everything all mounted up there. The only thing that's left to do is brake lines. So we're gonna be running those in a little bit. Look at that, fresh one on. Just make sure that's the right and the left one. There's like came out of this box, right? Yeah. That's the right one. That's the right? That's the right, so that's gonna be on the other side. The left one is that box there, under the table. There's boxes everywhere here, it's a disaster. Yeah, apparently there's a difference with the slottedness of these. Anyways, endless actually tells you there's a difference between right and left on the box, so we're gonna follow their directions. Cool, that side's going on. Before you put the brake caliper back on there as well, what you'll need to do is clean the rotor with some parts cleaner and a towel, just to get off any oils and stuff like that. Cool. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We got the rears both sides done. Unfortunately, I did have some issues where some of the bolts that came in the kit were actually damaged. I think like from just being dropped or thrown around by like a courier or something. And one of the hubs got completely destroyed because it just like destroyed the threads because I think the bolt was like a little bent or something. But anyways, we got it fixed. My plan today is to try and have this thing on the ground. We're just going to keep smashing through until we get it. Hopefully by the end of this video, we'll actually be driving. And then I'll be very, very, very excited because S15's back on the road. So let's get into it. This is a view that we haven't really seen for quite a while on the channel. We are inside the S15 and I'm gonna work on mounting the location and everything of the hydro. Khan's still out the front working on brake stuff after we finish with those lines in the rear. So, let me explain what we're going on here. I'm mounting this outside of the center console area. I didn't want to cut up anything in my dash and lose anything in this section because this is going to be a street drift car. This is going to be something that's going to be really nice on the road and fun and something that has air conditioning and all that type of thing. So I didn't want to lose and sacrifice anything here and mess up how nice the interior looked. I didn't want to cut a hole there. So I opted for the one that goes on the outside. It's not in the way of my knee whatsoever. In fact, it actually hurts. Like it's hard for me to push my leg over to hit it because the seat is right here and it stops my leg from getting close to where that is. So I know we're fine there. The only other issue is the location of the handle. If I actually put this straight on, like straight like this, it would actually be too close to the steering wheel and I'd hit it. So I'm actually angling it with the flow of the center console here. And that way, even when I pull on it, if I jam this there with my leg, you can see that it clears the steering wheel quite well there. And it doesn't actually affect anything. I thought it would be a little bit more kind of weird, like I'd have to be pulling it out this way, but it actually works just the same if I'm pulling it like this. And I'm not gonna have to pull it all the way down. I'm only gonna have to pull it like to here probably to get it to work, but I think it's gonna be fine. Ideally, it's definitely better to have it like more here, but this is a street car, so some things like that are just gonna have to be sacrificed. The other best thing is this is right here, and this is gonna work no problem. So we got this guy, we got this guy, we got this guy, all nice and tall and pink bits. Messier 9 shift is also really nice. Anyways, so I'm gonna mark this all up. We're gonna drill holes, and then we can run the line from here, drill the hole straight through so that line can then connect to the other lines. Then we can bleed everything, put this thing on the ground, and take it for a little drive. So I finished drilling the holes and everything for mounting the hydro. And I need to put this in here, so I'm gonna bench bleed this. Ooh, this PMU fluid is nice. It's green, I kinda dig that. So bench bleeding is really simple. This is probably gonna leak a little bit, but the main purpose is that we're looping it so that we can pump it and get all the air out of it is really our main goal. So I'm gonna probably get a lot of brake fluid over me, but I'm just gonna keep doing this until there's no air bubbles coming out, which there isn't. So you can see down in here, it sucked up all that fluid, and even though I'm pumping it, there's no more air bubbles coming out, it's just fluid. So we're pretty much done, I think, now with bench bleeding. It's super simple and easy. Just got to do that, and then you'll be able to bleed it 1,000 times faster and better. Welcome to Under the S15, where I am now currently working on the wiring for the transmission, just hooking up the reverse sensor and I believe it's like a ABS sensor that just like kind of lets the car know that it's moving. I don't have ABS, but I might as well just make sure both plugs are plugged in. But yeah, anyways, you might be wondering, why am I doing wiring stuff now? Well, that's because, if you have a look up here, there's a little hole we drilled. Might be hard to see. I need that hole to be probably double the size. That is the biggest drill bit I have. And I usually have those little stepper drill bits, but I think I lent them to Okachan and forgot to get them off him, or, you know, they're his now. So, I looked everywhere just in case, can't find them. I don't know what happened to them really, but yeah. We can't make the hole big enough, and the hardware stores and everywhere in Japan right now is closing super early because the government is worried about, you know, C-19 stuff. So yeah, I'm doing everything else that I can right now to get this car done, so that the tomorrow when I can get my stepper bit and drill that out, run that one brake line to the back for the hydro, that's all I have to do. So once again, when I thought we were going to have the S15 on the road and driving, it will not be by the end of today. So yeah, you know, cars. If there's one thing that I've gotten from my car so far is emotional damage.
Emotional damage.
Yeah, you do that actually really well. So yeah, I'm just gonna get everything else done and tidied up that I can right now, spend as much time on everything, so that the last thing that has to be done is just the that one brake line, and we are good. It's so frustrating, man, that like you always think that you're like, yep, car's gonna be done today. We're gonna be gooch. It's all gonna be finished. So if all goes well, when I go and put this into reverse now, I hope that's reverse. We should have reverse lights. Hey, we do. Yeet yeet. We're good. All right, we're legal. So there you go. For those of you wanting to do the same thing for your car with a CD swap, it's the blue sensor. So there's like two sensors on the CD. There's one with a black kind of like plug on it and one with a blue plug. The blue plug is the reverse sensor. The black plug is like the speed sensor that just tells the computer, hey, the car's moving, and in gear and going forwards. To get the plugs for them, for your loom, just Wiring Specialties has them. Wiring Specialties, epic supporter of the channel. They sent those plugs out to me really, really fast so we could get that wired up. Super important because you need that to be able to obviously have your working lights and stuff for street cars. All right, so we got the front wheels on, all the new brakes are on. I got Khan working on drift stitching up the old bumper for now, just so that we can maybe go to a shakedown or something and we'll have that on there. But everything's looking good. I just got to do some more interior stuff. So we can't obviously put this together till we can run that one line and drill that hole bigger for the center console. But I did pull some stuff apart when I was running the power line around the fuse box there, so I'm going to sort that out. But everything else we've kind of done. Everything else that was on the list that we needed to get finished. Yeah, this guy's going to town. He's going to make a real mess. Love it. Anyways, but yeah, I can't wait to see what wheels are going to look like with these dual calipers on the rear. I might just quickly set one of the 18-inch wheels on here and just see what it looks like with the two calipers and make sure it actually clears and fits. I'm sure it will. I have no doubt in my mind because of the offset, but I just want to see how fat it looks because the Skyline rotors are so much bigger than the Nissan OEM ones. Sorry, the Silvia ones. Look how tiny this is compared to that. Huge difference. Jumped up a bunch in rotor size. So I got a wheel mounted up and man, that looks so cool with the dual calipers down there. It's sick. So the way I've got it set up is this is foot brake, These bottom ones here are the hydro. It's gonna look so good. Well, they're not hooked up to the hydro yet. Well, I mean, there's a line hooked up to that's into a T-piece waiting for the line from the hydro. So, but yeah, that looks awesome. Looks super stealthy. I know a lot of people would normally paint their calipers, but I'm too lazy. I ain't got time for that. And trying to find like good quality, like, you know, powder coaters and stuff like that here in Japan, very, very difficult. So I'm happy with this look. Super stealthy, sleeper, but then it's a bright pink car, so I'm sure people are still gonna know something's up. Also, this thing is so loud. But yeah, we got kind of the wheels back on, guys. By the way, look how much droop the rear of my car has. That all fully compresses up. Got all the droop. We got the bumper back on the S15 with a bunch more drift stitching, so it's a little bit better together. Unfortunately though, things just won't line up because we tore off the tabs inside the fender, so it just has to sit out that far on this side. But for the most part, it's back together. I'm really looking forward to seeing this thing with some new aero and stuff on it. So new hood, new bumpers, new side skirts. Well, I mean, we're probably going for the Golf R too, so this thing's gonna look awesome. But we're done for today. We've done everything that we can. Tomorrow we just got to run that one last line, and then we should be able to take this thing for a little bit of a drive. I'm excited. Finally. It's like, it feels like the car's ready to go for a drive on the ground, and pretty much it is. It's just, we're waiting for that one Christmas tree bit, stepper drill bit, just so we can make that hole bigger, put a grommet in there and run those lines, and then put the tail shaft back in, because we can't do the tail shaft until we do the brake lines, because the brake lines are above the tail shaft. So that's pretty much everything that we have to do. And then I'm going to take this thing on the back of my loader truck, and we're going to go to do a shakedown at scuba with it and all of that. I'm just excited, man. Look at this. First time this thing's had a hydro. Very, very hyped. It's going to look sick. Can't wait. This is killing me, man. This is killing me. I'm currently on my way home, and once it hits like around 11:30 midnight, this is what the roads look like. Absolutely packed. This is a 3-lane highway, and it is packed full of trucks. It's actually a nightmare. I always try to make sure I'm not at the workshop too late, but I'm really trying to bust my balls to get the S15 finished. Because if you leave late, this is what you have to put up with. So in Japan, the road tolls are cheaper from certain times late at night, and that's when all the truckies will drive their trucks. In fact, if you've ever been in Japan and been driving at nighttime, sometimes you'll see that at the PA stations, like the service areas and the PAs, like along the highways, the parking areas, that they're sometimes just full of trucks just waiting, and like cram-packed where there's no more space, that no more trucks could fit in them, because they're all waiting for the cheaper time to start, you know, heading through Tokyo. So yeah, it kind of sucks, because even though I'm in the fast passing lane, yeah, it's just, yeah, we're not really going anywhere, because there's just trucks in front of me. And even if this guy moves over to the left lane, there's another truck in front of him who's passing some other like slightly slower trucks. It's a nightmare. Back home now, guys, after what felt like an eternity stuck on the highway with all those trucks. I think that is probably the longest it's ever taken me to get home without there being an accident or like bad traffic. But anyways, that aside, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Just a bit of recap today. Obviously, we did all the final touches on the S15, where all we have to do now is drill out that hole, run that one line, bleed the brakes, and we're good to drive that thing out. I think the only other thing that we didn't do was I have to put the intake pipe back on the turbo, just the pod filter and the intake pipe. That's it. The car, for all like intention purposes, it's done. It's ready to go on the ground and drive. We just got to run that one brake line. And the only reason what stopped us from doing that today is my stepper drill bit was missing, and I couldn't find it no matter where I looked. So waiting for that new one to come tomorrow. We'll drill that hole out, double the size, put a grommet in there, run the brake line, and then we'll be good. We'll be done. Hopefully this time it actually means, like when I say it, it actually will be the next video. Hopefully nothing happens. Touch wood. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed the videos. I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about why I feel that like the last few uploads have been kind of stale for the last few weeks. And the main reason for that is everything that I have planned to kind of like jump full into and make all this content on. Unfortunately, just like the S15, has been pushed back, or things have happened that have pushed it further back. So it's really, really hard for me to, I guess, put out the same kind of level of quality content that I feel like I was doing, you know, like before we went to the USA, or even while I was in the USA, like that kind of level of content, when all my plans get changed like very, very suddenly. And I am in the process of trying to get the S15 done and everything else. So it's kind of like created this, I guess, like a cascading snowballing effect in a way that's really just affected the content, I feel. At least I don't genuinely feel that way. So I'm really trying to get things back up to another level. Obviously, there is a lot going on behind the scenes with all this other stuff that we've got planned. I'm in the process of hiring new staff as well, as you guys are starting to see, like Khan in the videos now. He's going to be helping out. He's not the mechanic, he's just going to be helping out a bunch with a lot of like running around and little things like that. For now, while he's the only one that I have, he's going to be doing a bunch of just like everything. And then when we get the full-time mechanic, things will speed up much more on the car projects themselves. And I'll be able to focus more on those fun, awesome videos that I really believe is something that I haven't been able to do for a while, like those out-of-the-box ideas that really get your video, you know, on the trending page or millions and millions of views. And one thing that I want to always make sure that I remember is why I started YouTube, why I enjoy making videos and all that kind of stuff. It's because I like, you know, sharing my experience, my journey with you guys, as well as my knowledge and just, I don't know, like, I don't want to upload a video that I wouldn't watch myself, if that's what I want to say. And I'm a very spontaneous, crazy person, and sometimes I just like making random fun videos. So I don't know. I don't really know where this is going, but I feel like you kind of understand where I'm coming from, even though I don't know if I understand what I just said, if that makes sense. I'm going to watch this while editing and just be shaking my head. But guys, thank you so much for watching. I love each and every one of you, especially you guys who have been watching for the last few weeks, regardless of the stale content. Yeah, love to know your thoughts as always down in the comment section. Smash that like button, write us a comment, subscribe, all that jazz, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out. Jamata. I'm tired. It's like 3 in the morning. Good night, YouTube.